Now the concept is loss of refraction, which is given by Snell. The scientist Snell, according to that, it is also called as Snell's law. Loss of refraction or Snell's law of refraction. Snell's law of refraction. It has given two laws. The first law says that the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal drawn at a point of incident all will lie in a same plane. What does it mean, sir? This is a refracting surface, a light incidented. This is the incident point, and the normal drawn at this point, and the refracted ray. For this, they all will lie in the same plane. What does it mean? So this incident ray, refracted ray, and the normal drawn at a point of incident lies in a same plane. Means what? Suppose a light ray goes. This is a plane. This light ray suppose goes like this. This is a plane. Light ray goes like this. Then it will bend left, right, not up and down. It will not change its plane. It will go in the same plane only. This is the first law says. Once again I am repeating the definition. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal drawn at a point of incident all will lie in the same plane. Maybe for another incident ray, another refracted ray, or another normal, they will have another plane. But for a single ray, incident ray, its refracted ray and its normal all will lie in the same plane. Hope I am clear. Next come to the second law of refraction. Second law states that the ratio between sine angle of incident, incident is I, to the sine angle of refraction is constant. Constant for a given pair of medium. Once again I am repeating the definition. The ratio between a sine angle of incident to the sine angle of refraction is constant for a given pair of medium. Means what? Suppose you are checking for light ray traveling from air to glass. You check anywhere the sin I, sin R. Any different angles of incident you take, different angles of R you take. Then what will happen? This ratio will be sin I by sin R. Find out, it will always same for these two mediums. Maybe change the values. IR. Clear? So this constant is called as a refractive index. Refractive index of that medium, of the second medium with respect to the first medium. So this ratio between sin I by sin R is called as a refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. This is denoted by nu, refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. That is sin I in the first medium, incident angle in the first medium, to the sin R in the refracted angle in the second medium. And this is a relative term. Respect to first medium I am saying here. Means what? Suppose the first medium changed. Let us take an example. Refractive index of glass with respect to air. Means what? Sin I by sin R. But this, when for same incident angle, when light travels from air to glass, refracted angle is different. And when light travels from air to water, the refracted angle is different. Or light travels from water to glass, also refracted angle is different. That's why it is, if the mediums changed, then this value will change. It is constant. It is not constant that case. So if mediums are fixed, then that will be constant. Okay, this is called as a refractive index. So you can write the definition of refractive index now. First definition, there are so many definitions of refractive index depending upon different situations. So first refractive index in terms of incident angle and refracted angle is refracting index of a medium can be defined as the ratio between a sine angle of incident to the sine angle of refraction. I hope I am clear. Now let us little focus on the refractive index. This can be divided into two parts. One is relative, second is absolute. What is relative refractive index? Already I mentioned with the changing of the first medium. Suppose light is traveling from air to glass, refractive index is different, and water to glass, refractive index is different. So with the changing of the first medium, the refractive index, so that is called a relative term. So we say that refractive index of glass with respect to water. We say refractive index of glass with respect to water. If it is a refracted glass with respect to kerosene, if it light is traveling from kerosene to glass, or light is traveling from glass to water, then refractive index of water with respect to glass. That is called a relative term related to the first medium. But what is absolute refractive index? So refractive index of medium with respect to vacuum or air. Generally vacuum or air. So that is called as the refractive index of the, that is called absolute refractive index. If the first medium is vacuum or air, second medium water may be, that case that is called as absolute refractive index. Here we mention refractive index of glass with respect to water or anything you need to mention. Here suppose I am writing mu g, that means it is absolute refractive index with respect to vacuum, that indicates. I hope I am clear. So you can write the definition of absolute refractive index. It is the refractive index of a medium with respect to the vacuum or air. Once again I repeat, refractive index of a medium with respect to vacuum or air is called as a absolute refractive index. If any other, with respect to any other medium, it is called as a relative refractive index. Okay, so there are in your book so many refractive indexes are given in page number, new book page number 92 and table number 4.1. Here refractive index of diamond is 2.42, quartz 1.46, glass 1.52, flint glass 1.66, ice 1.31, water 1.33, and carbon dioxide 1.3, like that, so on. These are the absolute refractive index, not the relative. These are the absolute refractive index that are given in your